Hello everyone and welcome to my Hip Hop Gossip For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Diddy faces new allegations of luring underage young ladies for his asserted oddity offs. As Diddy plans to battle his government case on charges of sex stealing and then some, new claims keep on surfacing against him. Notwithstanding, it's critical to take note of that he and his lawful group have denied practically every one of the allegations tossed against him before, and that these are unconfirmed cases. Besides, Radar Online purportedly addressed an evidently educated source that blamed Sean Looks-Over for tricking underage young ladies to his claimed freak-off parties, which are the subject of the government examination against him. The supposed source guarantees that he allured artist Great Friday to go to one of these gatherings when she was 16 with food and substances. Besides, Great Friday's supposed declaration asserts that Diddy's way of behaving toward her reached out to other underage young ladies. As per her alleged memories, his partners pursued her down a Toronto Passage in 1990 when she attempted to move away from the claimed freak-off. Likewise, the vocalist guarantees that security halted her when she attempted to pass on subsequent to addressing the U.S. Sun. He remained before the primary entryway and he snatched my shoulders, and he's like, "You're staying put," she was cited as saying, despite the fact that it's indistinct which man she's discussing. Besides, Great Friday supposedly guaranteed that she needed to pass on to track down her companion, and felt awkward with how more seasoned men moved toward her and requested that she get things done with them. Subsequently, she purportedly saw Diddy leave one of the freak-off rooms, which made her have a fit of anxiety. Friday claims that his security previously let him know that she was attempting to leave, which is the reason she affirms that he ran at her with a resentful look. "I rushed to press the lift button, trusting it would come, so I wouldn't need to run down 20 or more trips of crisis leave steps," Great Friday purportedly reviewed. With respect to how they met, she and Diddy purportedly ran into each other while she was in a young lady bunch. After he purportedly welcomed Friday and she said she was just 16, he evidently answered with, "Gracious, it's alright, I don't really take a look at IDs at my gatherings." The terrible kid tycoon keeps on denying the numerous allegations against him and will battle them in court. Diddy's attorney claims that Diddy's antagonistic treatment is racially roused. Diddy's acclaim and fortune has not helped him lately. The terrible kid organizer has been treated with antagonism by the government officials who captured and the courts. He has been denied bail 2 times, and been consigned to the unfriendly Metropolitan Detainment Place in Brooklyn. Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, has attempted resolutely to work on his client's circumstances. He's attempted a few distinct media twists, and presently he's guaranteeing that Diddy is unreasonably indicted based on his skin tone. Agnifilo is one of the talking heads who show up in the new TMZ narrative The Defeat of Diddy, The Arraignment. As the title recommends, the doc subtleties the legal actions that have worked out throughout the course of recent weeks. Agnifilo affirmed that the federal authorities designated his client since he is a fruitful individual of color. The legal counselor causes the unwarranted case that the federal authorities to have been after Diddy for a really long time. He proposes that Diddy was spotless on the business side of things, so policing towards his room propensities. Agnifilo even highlighted the incrimination of New York City Chairman Eric Adams to help his hypothesis. City Chairman Adams was arraigned on government charges on September 25. The legislator endeavored to approach his prosecution as an outcome of his skin tone. As he arranged to talk before a group on Thursday, nonetheless, a man in the group got down on him. "This is certainly not something dark," the man hollered. "This is a you thing, Eric Adams. Your approaches are against dark. You are a shame to all individuals of color around here." The clasp immediately became a web sensation. The trade unquestionably does essentially nothing to help the prejudice against Diddy, it claims. Unexpectedly, Adams was the one who gave Diddy a key to the city in 2023. Regardless of this supposed abuse, Agnifilo told TMZ documentarians that Diddy is anxious to stand up in his preliminary. "I don't realize that I could keep him off the stand," the legal counselor stated. "Think he is extremely anxious to recount his story." Agnifilo additionally proposed that Diddy's words would change the way the public perspectives him. "I figure he will recount all aspects of his story," he added. "Counting what you see on the video. Diddy party photographs highlighting Bare Lady Smorgasbord re-emerge in the midst of fight in court. In the midst of Diddy's continuous fight in court, the public has been thinking back on the big shots passed through a more extreme focal point than at any other time. He's presently having to deal with different penalties, which could land him however much a lifelong incarceration in the event that he's seen as blameworthy. For the present, he stays at the Metropolitan Confinement Place in Brooklyn, where he anticipates preliminary. Meanwhile, TMZ has uncovered some old photographs from one of his notorious gatherings in 2004. Will Smith, Diana Ross, Owen Wilson, and more should be visible partaking in the Miami occasion, which doesn't appear to have gotten excessively wild. The photographs show a smorgasbord with a bare model at the middle, nonetheless. The power source noticed that this wasn't strange at that point. The photographs surface with perfect timing for the power source's new narrative, The Destruction of Diddy, the Prosecution, which drops this evening on Tubi. Diddy's lawyer Mark Agnifilo even partook in the doc. He let the power source know whether his client intends to stand up when the case goes to preliminary. "I don't realize that I could keep him off the stand," Agnifilo guaranteed. "I think he is extremely anxious to recount his story, and I figure he will recount all aspects of his story, including what you see on the video. So I anticipate that should be made sense of by the two of us." What is your take of photographs from one of Diddy's gatherings in 2004 re-emerging in the midst of his fight in court? Is it true that you are amazed by them or not? We're not allowed to post the pictures straightforwardly on Hot New Hip Hop. On the off chance that you might want to see them, you can do as such by tapping the by means of connection underneath. Diddy's case strangely reassigned to new past judgment. Another adjudicator was doled out to Diddy's crook case in New York on Thursday. Judge Arun Subramanian supplanted Judge Andrew Carter, per court records. Not a great explanation was given for Judge Carter's exit. A town hall journalist said Carter habitually recuses himself from cases since his significant other is a legal counselor for the Bank of New York Mellon and worked for J.P. Morgan Pursuit. Legitimate Undertakings writer Megan Cuniff noted Judge Carter indicated finding a substitution at Diddy's September 18 bail hearing. "In the event that I can't attempt it, I'll find a partner who can to set a preliminary date," the adjudicator told Diddy's legal counselor Mark Agnifilo. Diddy was captured for sex stealing, racketeering, connivance and transportation to take part in prostitution in September. He argued not blameworthy to the charges. Two appointed authorities, including Carter, denied bail to Diddy. The imprisoned magnate, whose genuine name is Sean Brushes, faces up to life in jail whenever sentenced. For a really long time, Sean Brushes manhandled, undermined and constrained ladies and others around him to satisfy his sexual cravings, safeguard his standing and disguise his prosecution made sense of. As per Busby, one of Diddy's casualties was a 9-year-old kid. Diddy's lawful group said he unequivocally and completely denies as bogus and disparaging any case that he physically manhandled anybody, including minors.